Hello everyone, welcome to another game of In and Out while I close the door repeatedly while the dogs pop it open. Welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I'm your yarn host Jennifer. Oreo's gonna pop it again because it's been like 8 times before I started hit record and they're taking turns popping that door. Did I log it? No, because I'm trying to prepare my desk so I can do a video and yeah. So today is gonna be an update, and the update is we're gonna talk about an update since yesterday's glow-in-the-dark review of yarn. I really should have got more batteries for this thing, but I wanted to show you what I've made because I know that there's a misconception. I got this the other day. There's a misconception. Let me turn my ringer off because I guarantee today is one of those days somebody is gonna call. It's just craziness, right? I am drinking zero sugar Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream with some ice. And I have an extra can just in case we run low because it's just that kind of day. It hasn't been horrible, but like it's been a day already. And it's only 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. It's already been a whole day. My son is being a real tool bag. He's just treating me like crap. So he's in his room recording rap music because it's his new obsession. I had the audacity to say his name and I got yelled at because I interrupted his flow. The teenagedom is like strong in that one. I'm telling you. He's not even going to make it to his 11th birthday. I'm going to be real honest. Past couple days he's been real teenagery, just real teenagery, and that's leaving a real bad taste in my mouth. So we're not gonna talk about that though. Today I wanted to give an update, and I'm so like my brain has already moved on to the next subject, so I'm struggling to put my thoughts together. We're gonna muscle through. We're gonna spend a little bit of quality time together. While I putz, I'm going to show you what I've made. I was going to say, the misconception on the channel is because I pre-record everything, that somehow I'm organized and I've got my crap together and that there shouldn't be missing videos because I pre-record, and that could not be further from the truth. Because when I take a day off, oh, believe me, it was scheduled. It was not a last minute, I'm taking the day off. It was I'm really out of energy, so in a couple days there's not going to be a video. But today I'm going to take the day off so that in a couple days you won't have a video. So even when you think the day is off because there's not a video, like I guarantee that the day you think I'm off, I'm actually working. I know. So yesterday I showed you the box of glow-in-the-dark yarn that I got from WeCrochet, which is a Lion brand yarn. And can I tell you, since recording that video, since ordering this yarn, Lion brand put it on sale after I ordered it for 30% off, which is a much better deal than when I paid for it. Although maybe it wasn't. No, because I think I got 15% off, not 30, if I do the math correctly. It doesn't matter. I got it, I like it, I've been using it. I'm going to turn the light down a little bit. I also forgot to show you on Monday Makes that I made these cute little sea creatures. My niece couldn't figure out what this one was. She's all, Aunt Jenny, what is this? And she's holding it like this. And I said, Hermione, it's a whale. She's all, it looks like Dobby. I mean, if you look at it that way, sure, it looks like Dobby. It's a whale. It's a whale. It's Dobby the whale. I don't know. If you don't know who Dobby is, it's from Harry Potter. And then this little guy's a shark. He was supposed to be a whale, but his tail went sideways. So he's now a shark just because his tail and his eyes are crooked. It's fine. But I made these two little guys just out of leftover scraps. I forgot to show those on Monday, and that has nothing to do with this video, but they're sitting on the desk with the other with the bugs that I made. And I'm really enjoying making the bugs. And I started a glowworm in the other room. See, I told you he was gonna call. I knew it. I could sense it. Hang on. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I could literally sense he was about to pick up the phone and dial it. I could feel it in my body. So anyway, I'm gonna show you the bugs that I made from the things that we talked about yesterday. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, I unboxed his DIY Glow Cozy yarn. It is from Lion Brand. This yarn does in fact glow in the dark. It comes in some fun colors. Some colors glow better than others. The pink barely glows at all. And I thought I made something out of the pink. Did I not? I must not have. No, because the picture is what's on my desk. It's alright. My brain, I'm discombobulated today. There's 3 bugs on my desk I'm going to show you. You're going to re-see them on Monday because that's just how I do everything. I show everything on Monday. But I wanted to come on and talk about an update with the glow-in-the-dark yarn. Okay. I also ended up using the red sparkle yarn that I showed in yesterday's video because I talked about the Woobles bug kits and I wanted to make glow-in-the-dark and sparkly bugs like the Woobles kits, but I am offended by their prices. Okay, and I openly say that repeatedly, hoping that somehow they're going to actually listen, but they're not because they're making money. And until they stop making money on those ridiculously overpriced kits and people stop willing to pay $45 for a Snoopy thing, which actually is on sale for cheaper than that, but you know what I'm saying? Till people stop paying it, they're not going to ever lower their prices. So until then, Cinema Stitches is just going to find other ways to make or replicate what they're doing when I feel like it, because I paid $30 for an entire box of yarn, including the glow-in-the-dark yarn. I actually... a whole box of yarn here. This ain't for the Woobles, but it was in there. So I got 4 skeins of acrylic and like 5 or 6 skeins of glow-in-the-dark yarn for the price of a Woobles kit. And I can make endless little critters and creatures. And honestly, I'm going to show you. These are not a pattern. They're not... I don't have the pattern for any of these bugs. What I did is I went to Google and I screenshotted some of their cute little bugs. Okay? So, this is bug number 1. And these are screenshots. She glows in the dark. Her little butt glows in the dark. Okay? I think she's adorable and I wanted to somewhat replicate it but put my own Cinnamon Stitches spin on it. Her butt also glows in the dark and honestly I think she's way cuter. If I do say so myself. Okay, the big eyes is what does it for me. Like I said, this is not, I don't have the pattern. I didn't purchase the Woobles kit. I used, and honestly, all of this was yarn I already had in stash. So this ain't even from the new, actually I think the white is from the new box because the white that I had was this, which is DIY Glow, not the Glow Cozy, so it's not as thick. It feels more like an acrylic yarn, whereas this is definitely a polyester tube yarn, which is in the other room in a bag because I'm still working on, like I said, the glowworm. Okay, so the chenille is Lion Brand Glow Chenille. So her antenna, her wings, and her butt glow in the dark. Okay, so we're gonna test it. We gotta charge her up. We gotta charge her. I'm gonna turn her light down and charge her and see if we can get her to glow. Keep in mind, my batteries in my black light are really dull, and so things are not glowing as brightly as they normally would. And her antennae are glowing, but because they're purple and her wings glow. I think I definitely accomplished that. All right, now while we're sitting here, I'm gonna charge the next guy. And I know the lighting is weird because I'm backlit like a mofo. The next guy, I took inspiration from, kind of from the Woobles kit, because that's the Woobles. And I don't know if he glows in the dark. I think he just has purple sparkly bits on him. I don't think the Woobles caterpillar glows in the dark. But I also found this one that I screenshotted. And so that was the idea. Those two were my inspiration for the next design, which I'm charging. And this was purple, it's glowing, and I know because it's not real dark in here, you're not going to be able to see how well he's glowing, but this is my interpretation of that. He's also got the purple chenille that glows, and his antenna are the pink DIY cozy yarn. See, I knew that door was going to pop open. Bentley, it is not time to leave work. And it was Poncho. You're a troublemaker, ma'am. Dogs. Alright, so the pink is the pink version of the DIY Glow Cozy. And I grabbed a bunch of eyes and I put them in my tin can. And I carry the tin can with me everywhere I go. It's the cookie box tin that had Hugo in it, the turtle. This guy. By the way, I got a killer deal on these kits yesterday for Amazon Prime Day. And the sale is no longer valid. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I carry the cookie tin around for the Amigurumi kit. And it has, I put everything in there for like all the accessories. It's like my little accessory thing. So it's got the darning needles to sew the pieces together. It's got cutters in there or scissors. Actually, I think it has scissors and cutters in it right now. It has eyeballs, all the pieces for the eyeballs. It has, sometimes it has scrap bits of yarn in there for facial details. Trying to think of what else is in there. There's all the bits and bobs I need to make whatever I'm working on, okay? And I wanted him to have pink eyes, but I lost the pink backing, which is a glitter. So he's got two different color eyes, and I just think it adds so much character to his face. And can I tell you that this morning I found the pink? So it was there, it just, I couldn't find it in the tin, but I really like that he has two different colored eyes. His antenna glow. The furry bits glow. And the reason I used the purple chenille on him was because caterpillars are fuzzy. A lot, well, not all of them. A lot of caterpillars, specifically the caterpillars I used to play with as a child because I love finding caterpillars. All were fuzzy. So I had to make him fuzzy and furry. So the green does not glow. The green is the tube yarn, the craft tube yarn from Michaels. The pink is the DIY Cozy from Lion Brand. And the purple is the Glow Chenille from Lion Brand. And this is basically a happy pill, which is also something I've showed on the channel before. It's like it's the same shape, it's the same design as a happy pill. Except I did rows for fuzzy bits and I added very crooked feet. His feet don't line up. They're just baubles. I just think he's so cute, and he does in fact glow. Maybe I'll recharge him and try to turn the light off again real quick so we can kind of see. There you go. It's glowing. It's barely glowing, but like I said, batteries are going dead on that. Alright, so those are the two glow bugs that I made. I'm also working on a glow worm that hopefully looks like this. Except the body is pink. So the bottom part of the glowworm's body is the glow-in-the-dark yarn. And then the shirt part is not glow-in-the-dark yarn, but it's all in pink. And I'm going to be real honest, right now it looks like a butt plug. It does. Like, I only crocheted the bottom, it looks like a butt plug because it's pink and it's just the shape. It is, okay? It looks bad. Alright, and then, last but not least, I'm going to have to look up the photo of this one because I don't have the screenshot. Ladybug. This is the Woobles Ladybug. And like I said, some of the bugs in the Woobles kits are glittery and some are glow in the dark. And I wanted both aspects to my bugs. And what I found, and I don't have it in here, is I found yarn. This is like fancy bougie yarn, okay? This I got from a thrift store situation, I believe. I'm fairly confident. And I've used this in a couple of different projects. I used it to make F's. It's the gold part in the F for the F bombs. I've used this, I think, in one of the Jujus and Stitches blankets. This has gone a really long ways. It seems like it's one of those never-ending skeins of yarn, and I know that you've had them in your stash where you use it and you're like, when is this ever going to end up empty? Because I keep using it and it's not going anywhere. I didn't use this for the bugs, but I had some red that I was gifted, and it was in a mystery bag from Michigan Fine Yarns, and it's $6.99 for a little tiny ball of this red sparkle yarn. And I tested it in yesterday's video and I was like, this is kind of on the thin side. I don't think it's gonna work. So what I did is I pulled a whole bunch off of the spool and I reballed it up so that it was double. So I held it double and I made a sparkly ladybug. Okay. And her head is crooked and it just is what it is, okay? It just is what it is. I think, once again, the head tilt adds character to the little bug because she's curious. She does not have antenna because I didn't feel like putting antenna on. She's probably gonna get antenna because I think she's missing the antenna. This is what her body looks like. And that is what she looks like. I even gave her the little cheek bling blush. And holding that red yarn double worked beautifully. So once again, this was the inspiration. I think I did a really good job replicating that, considering I had no patterns for any of these. I didn't have, I would look at the picture every once in a while. Amigurumi is really, when you understand how the shaping works, and you're doing really basic shapes, which is known for these type of kits. Once you understand how to create either the ball shape or the pill shape, you can make almost any creature. And most of the Woobles kits are like that. They're just a very simple shape. And you just do it out a different color and you can make anything. And because I understand the basic shaping of how to do amigurumi, I probably could create anything and everything. My problem lies in coming up with what I want to make. So that's why I use the photographs as inspiration. And I've done that with most of my amigurumi. I will take a photograph and I will turn it into something else. It's the same thing I did with the Pac-Man that I created. I saw this online and I screenshotted the photo and I made my own Pac-Man. And it's just about learning basically how to crochet in the round. If you can crochet in the round and if you can understand the basic recipe of, you start with whatever number you start with. It's generally 6 single crochet in the magic loop. The next row is you put an increase in every stitch. So your next row will have 12 stitches. The next row after that, you'll do an increase and you'll do a single crochet and you'll repeat that all the way around. So increase, single, increase, single, increase, single. And an increase is just 2 single crochets in the same stitch. For the next row, add a single crochet. So it's increase, single crochet, single crochet. The next row after that, you give it another single crochet, and you keep doing that, and it will keep building a flat circle until it gets to the circumference. Is that the right word? Perimeter? Till it gets to the circumference that you want it to be. Yes, circumference, because radius is half. Till it gets as big around as you want it to be. And then you stop increasing and you just crochet in the round. That's how you create this shape. I did 2 or 3 rows of the increases where I stepped up the increase. And then I just crocheted in the round without any increases. And then I reverse engineered the increase. So whatever you just stopped at here. So if you stopped at the row where it was an increase and then 2 single crochets after that, then the next row, when you're decreasing, you do a decrease and 2 single crochets. The next row after that, you do a decrease and 1 single crochet. The next row after that, you decrease in every stitch. You can make it any amigurumi. If you want it to be elongated instead of just rounded off when you do decreases, you just decrease and then do a row of single crochet, and then decrease and do a row of single crochet. So you do the normal decrease row. So on this one, I think it was, I did increase and then 5 single crochets, or 3 or 4, I think it was 4. So you do an increase and then 4 single crochets was the last row I did here. And I crocheted in the round. I did a little decrease row here, then I increased it back out to create the little hourglass figure. But when I was decreasing this part of the body, I did decrease, 4 single crochet. The next row, just single crochet. The next row after that, decrease, 3 single crochet. The next row, single crochet. You just do that until it tapers off. It's my own fault for not locking the door. It's my own fault. Because Oreo cannot stand that door being closed. Even if no one is in the house and that door is closed, she will pop it open for no other reason than she wants that door open, and I don't understand the psychology that that door has to always be open. She's a nut. Alright, now, I was going to talk to you about, the cookie box kits. The cookie box kits. I ordered 3 more, and I'll tell you why. Remember I ordered this as a test, and I got this cute little guy out of it, and I was like, it was such a good kit. And it had the good eyes that I like, that they sink down. I almost dropped him in my cup. Did you hear that? So anyway, I really fell in love with these kits. They're good kits. And I did a whole review on these kits. So yesterday I'm on Amazon because it's Amazon Prime Week, okay? I do have an Amazon affiliate link. I cannot... There are not enough hours or energy in the day for me to make an Amazon video, because I'm telling you, the people that do the Amazon videos for their affiliate links, more power to them. They go and scour Amazon and they find the good deals, and then they screenshot stuff, and then they make this whole video and they put the links up for each individual thing. I ain't doing that. Yes, it will probably help my life out because I will get a little bit of money back from that, but if you want to click my Amazon link and go look for stuff, the Amazon link is always in the description box. I'm going to give you some clues of things you can type in, okay? You go click my link, it will take you to Amazon. It'll open up Amazon for you. And then you go to the search bar and you type in crochet. And then you get to look at all the stuff at crochet. But because it's Prime Deals Day, if you look at the top of your screen, it says Prime Deal Days or Prime Day Deals. Click that. And then we'll just list just the stuff that's part of your Prime Day deals. Okay, that's what I did. And then I searched in Amigurumi. And then I did the same thing. I clicked the Prime Deal Days, Prime Day Deal. I am having a hard time with that one. The Prime Day Deals. Okay, and then I searched up crochet hooks. I searched up all the things that might interest me. And I just scrolled through, and I bought very few things that you will see in the upcoming weeks, because I bought a book. It's an amigurumi book. It was $7 on sale, but I I got the spiral bound for $15 instead, which was still a really good deal because the book was regularly $20-some, just regular. And then I bought 3 of these, and I'll tell you why. And then I bought some yarn that I saw on Creative Grandma's channel because they were all on sale. I'm not promoting any of that. I'll promote these, but these aren't on the same deal that they were on yesterday. And I think because this is a small business, I think I caught the deal and they were like, whoa, that was too much. It was too much of a good deal because these went on sale. And then they still had to buy 2 get 1 free, which I tried this morning before I recorded the video. I didn't have time to make a video yesterday to let you guys know because we actually went out to the movies as a family, all of us. So there was me and Mr. Cinnamon, my 2 birth children, my niece, which is basically my daughter at this point, and then RJ, who's basically my son at this point. RJ is my daughter's boyfriend. Okay, so we went to the movies last night. We saw Elio. It was a pretty good movie. I was really sick, so I didn't enjoy it that much. I didn't have any popcorn. I didn't have anything to drink during the movie because I literally just sat there, and you know when you feel really, really sick, you don't move a whole lot. So I just sat next to RJ because he was the quietest one in the group. And honestly, I just wanted to sit in peace. So I sat at the end next to RJ. Because he has good energy, and like, I had a whole barrier between me and the rest of the family because my son was being a jerk. My niece was nonstop complaining in my ear, making my stomach hurt, or actually worse because she was, I'm gonna cuss. She was bitching and bitching and bitching. And she was physically making me feel like I was gonna throw up because it was so excessive. So I used RJ and Juju as a barrier so that the 3 that were giving me problems were at the other end of the theater. So that I could sit in peace and quiet and enjoy the movie as much as I could with my stomach raging. Okay? So I didn't have time to do this video yesterday, and I really wish that I had so that more people could have caught this deal, but they put these on sale yesterday, which was, I think, the first day of Prime. The 8th, and you're not going to see this till the 10th. They put these on sale for $14.27 or some odd price, right? But it was still buy 2 get 1 free, which is the deal I told you about last time. So when you put 3 in your shopping cart, you don't see the discount until you, well, I didn't. It's not there right now. You could try it. I don't think it's going to work. You could try it though. I put 3 of the kits in my shopping cart at the $14 price tag, and they still gave me the buy 2 get 1 free deal that they were running. So I ended up paying about $10 a kit for these really cute tinned kits that make these really cute amigurumi. Okay, so super, super excited. I scored that. And I really tried to make a short yesterday to at least let you guys know. I couldn't. I didn't have the energy to even cook dinner. But I felt like I needed to eat because I hadn't eaten all day yesterday. And I am a diabetic. And I can't just go without food because I can get sick from that. So Mr. Cinnamon brought home a rotisserie chicken and boxed mashed potatoes. And I fixed myself a little plate. And I sit down at the kitchen table, and my niece sits almost on top of me, like she scooted her chair right here to just tell me everything that has gone wrong in her entire life. And I realized that she needed to vent. She had a day at work, okay? A kid spit in her face. They're taking advantage of her because she's such a hard worker that they always tend to do that. And I tell her to stand up for herself and she ignores me. So she's just right here, just nonstop. And I looked at Mr. Cinnamon and I kept telling him the past couple days, like, I felt fine Monday, which is when I recorded Tuesday's video, I think. And I felt fine up until the evening, and then I started to not feel good. But also, I started to not feel good after I packed up some boxes, after we went to storage, after I put my little Desiccant Oh, we're going to talk about this today too, because this is an Amazon purchase. I had quite a few of you ask me about these, so we're going to talk about that. I will link these directly. I went and put the little desiccant packs in my yarn that is in storage just to help stave off any moisture that might build up in the boxes, because we had a whole, like, I panicked about that because I saw a video. It's the whole thing, okay? And so, me and Mr. Cinnamon, while driving back and forth to storage, now mind you, his car is still in the shop because one of the parts that's required for his truck is on long-term back order. So he's in a rental. He has to go out of town. I don't, like, there's so many stressors right now. And several of you in I think it was Monday, I think it was Monday's video. It might have been Tuesday's. We're like, Jen, just breathe. Because I haven't been. I've been holding my breath, like, stressed out. And I know you guys can see that. So there's my car failed inspection. It's sitting in the driveway with a big rejection sticker on it because it needs the brakes replaced, which we ordered the brake pads, we ordered the rotors. The rotors will be here tomorrow, which is when you're actually watching this video. So today in your world. We have a mechanic that's gonna come out and fix them for us because the dealer wanted $1,200 for brakes, and my husband is not in the condition to be on the ground fixing brakes. So we're gonna have a mobile mechanic come out and do that. I miss Michigan sometimes because we had people out there that would come and help us at the drop of a hat, and that don't exist in Virginia. It does not. We don't have any of those kinds of relationships that anyone would drop anything to come help us. So we're driving back and forth to the storage, and I'm bringing up the whole moving situation. I'm asking questions because my husband is very much, and he always has been, the leader of, like, he pays the bills. He's the one that pays the bills. He's the one that's in charge of paying the bills. He's the one that makes sure the lights stay on, and, like, he calls for appointments to do, like, that's his job. I manage the children, all the things in regards to children. I manage the house for the most part. Like, we agreed and talked about early on in our marriage that we would have these roles. And obviously with me now working, running this channel, running an actual business here, a lot of the lines in that have blurred to where I can't do all the things around the house that I used to be able to do, because I know you guys see me for maybe half an hour, for an hour on the channel every day, but what you don't see is the behind the scenes work that goes into the recording, the editing, the uploading, the researching, the trying to figure out what the planning. There's a lot of things that just, and also, like, I also have been homeschooling my kid for the past year. There's a lot of different roles that I took on in the past couple of years that kind of have blurred the lines of what I'm able to do all by myself. Cue the garbage man. And my son's butt is right there. Where was I going with this? Oh, so anyway, we're driving back and forth to storage, and we're having a conversation. I was like, where are we with this? Where are we with this? Like, is there a timeline that we're going to start actually looking at houses? When is the house going on the market? What do we still need to do before we can put the house on the market? And we're discussing all these things, and these things stress me out, and they stress everybody out. They're not like fun things to talk about. Finances, it's not fun things to talk about. Well, we still need to hire somebody to come. I want the house professionally cleaned, top to bottom, like a move out clean out before we paint, because there is, above this front door, there's like a ledge, and I am not, and I never have gotten on a ladder, because that shelf is about 12 feet high off of the ground. And there's like a balcony up here from the top floor that overlooks that, and it's coated in dust because I have never in 12 years got up there and cleaned it. I've had other people do it, but I am terrified of even standing up on a chair. I won't do it. I'm terrified of heights. Like if you lift me 2 inches off the floor, I freak out. I'm also terrified of closed-in spaces because when I was a little girl, I got locked in a coffin from my uncle. He locked me in a coffin. So those two things are like my big, oh, I don't do that. So that needs to be cleaned thoroughly. And I'm not getting up there. I will hire somebody to get up there and clean it. And just like I don't have the equipment or the capabilities to paint anything in here. And I know a lot of you are like, you need to figure out what you need to do. What we're trying to do. Because my husband wants to get as much money out of this house as he can. We want it to look like a beautiful shiny penny. So that makes people want to come look at it. And that means if we treat it like it's a new house or a fresh move out, we clean everything, we polish it up, we give it a fresh coat of plain old paint. Because there are areas where, because there's been so many little kids in my house, the door frame specifically around where the door handles are, where the little kids would grab, the paint is worn down. It is. It just needs to be spruced up. And so it's a lot of that kind of stuff. And so we were discussing all of the little things. I would really like to clean up the cabinets in the kitchen and get either a pretty stain on them because, again, they're discolored from all the little hands. Because if you don't know, yes, I only have 2 birth children. I raised 4 children. And on top of raising 4 children, my little baby nieces have been here a handful of times. Because I had a part in raising my 2 older nieces. They lived with me for a good chunk of their life. And so there's been a lot of little hands in this household in the past 12 years. And when you're just living life, you don't think, oh, I need to go paint the door frame. It's all the door jambs, specifically the ones in the bathroom. There's wear spots on the wall in the bathrooms from Mr. Cinnamon leaning. I don't know why they lean. I don't know why did they lean. I used to be, before, when we lived in Michigan, before I, actually when I was pregnant with Juju and before I was pregnant with Juju, I worked in janitorial services. So I cleaned offices, I cleaned a couple of different cities in Michigan. I cleaned their jails, I cleaned their city halls, I cleaned the police station, I cleaned, we did janitorial work. So it was scrubbing toilets, mopping floors, taking garbage out for businesses. Most of it was like governmental type buildings. And every single bathroom I cleaned that had a urinal, I would have to scrub the same spot. Because no matter how tall men are or how short they are, it seemed like they put their hand on the wall in the same exact spot above the urinal. Because it would be just a thick layer of hand grease, which is gross. It's bad enough cleaning the urinal, but knowing that every man that's touching is touching that spot. It's so gross. So I would go in there every night, every place that had a urinal, and I would scrub that grease spot. And I'm noticing the walls in my bathroom have like arm marks on the side of the toilet from Mr. Cinnamon, from Little Man Now, and now RJ. Yeah, the paint's wearing down a little bit. Good times indeed. So that's what's going on in my world. Oh, but anyway, back to the reason I was talking about the whole storage conversation that we're having. We're talking about, and I noticed that I was feeling sicker and sicker to my stomach. Like the pain, it was not just I feel like I'm gonna throw up. It was actual like stabbing pain on the top of my stomach. And I looked at Mr. Cinnamon in the car and I was like, I don't know if this is stress or it's a side effect of the medication. Because it could be both at this point. He's all, it's probably stress. And so when I was sitting at the dinner table last night before we were getting ready to go to the movies, because the movie didn't start till 8:20, so it was a late showing for us. I'm picking at my food because I already feel sick. And as my niece is just, the pain in my stomach was getting sharper and sharper. And I looked at him and I was like, oh, you remember when I said I wasn't sure if it was me, if it was the medicine or if it was stress? And he's all, yeah. I said, I'm going to say that it's most definitely stress. And he's all, why? I said, because it's hurting real bad right now. And she's just steadily not paying any attention to me, but continually complaining about every single thing that has gone wrong in her life ever. Just like, and the way she does it, it's almost like she's firing at me, like shooting at me, because it's like, it's at me. It's not she's complaining. She's doing it at me. As close as she could sit to me right here. And I'm like, she's still talking. And I said that to him, and I looked at her, and I looked at my food, and I picked up my food without saying a single word, and I walked to the living room and sat next to Juju, who was playing Fortnite and eating gluten-free pizza for dinner. Because she doesn't do that to me. She comes home and complains about her day. She absolutely does. But then we talk about other things, and we make fun of the people who came in and were like total entitled twat waffles. Like we make fun of it, we make light of it, and then we move on. It's not like she's firing everything she has at me to make herself feel better. And my niece has always done this. From the time she was a really little girl. There was a really, really rough time in my life where little man was a baby. I've said this on the channel before, he is asleep for 5 years. Like, that is not an exaggeration. He did not sleep for longer than 10-minute intervals for 5 years. And to tell you that that does stuff to your mentality, I cannot even describe how bad it was. On top of that, I had 3 little girls who were 9, 9, and 11. All the things that are going on in their world and in their life, they still needed me. I'm still getting up at the crack of dawn to put them on the school bus. I'm still sitting at the table doing homework with them while cooking dinner. I'm going to cry talking about this. It was hard. I was cleaning up after 2 other grown adults in my house at the time, which was my husband and my sister. My sister was useless in my house. She would come home from work and go to sleep and ignore her children and tell her children, get away from me, leave me alone. I just got off work, leave me alone. Okay? So it was everything in this house was on my shoulders, and I was struggling mentally in a way that unless you've been in that dark of a place, you cannot understand. So at night, when the other adults were home, I would go and either put Jada and Stitches in my headphones so I could tune out the rest of the world, so I could just breathe for a minute to survive. Because if I didn't breathe, one of the people in this household, me, or I was going to kill one of the children. Like, it was that bad. I was so dark and on edge always from not sleeping and having everything on my shoulders and thinking I could do it all. So I would either sit with Jada in my headphones because her voice is so calming, relaxing, or I'd go in the back garden where my bench is and I would sit. And when I tell you, Hermione would follow me out there and do the firing at me of everything wrong in her life. She hates her mother. Her mother did this. Her mother said that. Her mother did this. Somebody's school did this. Somebody's school did that. She would rapid fire all this vitriol just right on me. And I'm an empath, so I feel it. I feel it. You want to be there for your kids. You want to be there for everybody in your life, but oh my God, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Go to therapy, child. Like, you need therapy more than anybody I've ever known. Go to therapy. I can't do this. And I keep saying I feel selfish saying that out loud, but oh my God, it's hard to deal with. It's hard to deal with. And I can't force her to do anything because, like, she's 21 years old. But, oh my God, go to therapy. Go to therapy. Go to therapy. So that's what it felt like last night. It was just, she was rapid firing just venom at me. I had to get up and just, I went and sat on it. I didn't say a word. And after a few minutes, I was picking at my chicken. I was like, it's rotisserie chicken. It's stringy. It was dry. And I'm trying to eat it just so that I had strength to go to the movie theater. And Mr. Cinnamon calls from the table. He's all, where are you at? I'm like, I'm sitting on the couch where it's quiet. I'm sitting on the couch where it's quiet. Because right now I just can't. I've been sick all day. I just cannot. And I kid you not, going to the movie theater. And once again, she's like Velcro on my side. And I'm like, I love her. I really love her. I love her like she's my daughter. But what was hilarious was we get out of the theater. We get in the car. We had to take 2 separate cars because there were so many of us. And we're driving a tiny little rental car. Okay? So Juju and RJ came in her car. So we get back in the car and little man is just non-stop rapid firing random things about his technology. And I don't have a clue what he's even talking about at this point. Like, I have no idea what he's even, like, it's gibberish. I have no idea what he's talking about. Like, even some of that stuff that came in his package the other day, he's talking about that. I have no idea what it even is. I don't know. Okay. Like, there was a Wacom pen in there. I know that my tablet comes with a pen. And I use that. But he had to fix it so that it worked. Okay. So he's, like, talking about his I think it's Wacom pen. And the person that sent it to him, she also said she couldn't get it to work. So I don't feel bad with that. Because, like, I have no idea. And he's talking about that. And then he's talking about generators. So I was telling Mr. Cinnamon that Generac has a generator on sale. We probably should actually invest in a generator at some point. Because, like, every time we lose power, it's right after we went grocery shopping. And then he starts talking about this other brand. What was it? It was a funny name because it sounded like a dirty word. And he's all, no, it's a generator. It provides power. It's like a power bank. And he kind of dumbs things down for me because I have no idea what he's talking about. I am not. He loves all things technology. Like, and that's not me. It'd be like me talking crochet to him. His eyes glaze over. He has no idea what I'm talking about. He's talking about it's a power bank and it's like this thing, and then he's talking about, then he starts talking about power banks. And he wants his one power bank because it does this, that, this, and the other, but they actually discontinued it because of this, and that problem. And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But he's rapid firing, but not like at me. He's just rapid firing. He's talking really, really fast. His medicine has long worn off. His ADHD is full blown just going. His brain is tornadoing, right? And my niece is in the back seat and she's like, will you just please shut up? And I'm like, oh, that was the irony statement of the day. And so little man is like steadily, she's all, oh my God. I was like, what? She's all, I am so sorry. I was like, what for what? I am so sorry for never shutting up. I was like, oh my God. Because he was doing to her what she was doing to me earlier in the day. But it was like, oh, the irony. The absolute ridiculous irony of that. And today he's cranky. But at least the rest of the house is quiet. And he's leaving me alone for a few minutes so I can work. Oh, anyway. I'm going to talk about these. I had quite a few people on the Facebook or email me about these. I got these on Amazon. These are Desiccant. Okay? They're the little bead packets that come in like food. Sometimes there'll be a little packet in like your medicine. You know, the little tiny ones. That's all it is these. silica gel. Do not eat these. Okay. And I had a couple people asking about these because I bought these to go in my yarn boxes to absorb any moisture that might build up from the weather, from whatever there might be happening in my yarn that is in storage. Or I have a couple of boxes of like baby blankets and stuff, like my grandma boxes in there. And so I researched which ones to buy. They have the little 5 gram packs. These are 20 is it gram or milligram? It says high capacity of water absorption, reusable, cost effective, excellent permeability, secure packaging, double sealed packaging, moisture proof, non-toxic, DMF free, cobalt free, chloride free, food safe coated paper and ink. It says moisture proof, recyclable, and throwaway on the front. It says this product is safe for food, medication and vitamins, clothing and shoes, electronics, any wet place, jewelry, collectibles, or guns and ammo. Place the packet and your desired items in a tightly closed container. Packets do not work in open air. Otherwise, they will be saturated immediately from absorbing moisture in open air. Use more quantities than suggested if the water content of storing goods is high. And then it says for 120 cubic inches, use a 1 gram packet. So the options on, I was gonna say YouTube. The options on Amazon were 5 grams, or these are 20 gram packets. And it says for 20 gram packets, it's 1.5 cubic feet. So my buckets are, I'm trying to see what that says. Hang on. Alright, so it doesn't say. They're 12. I have 12 gallon buckets, but I think the buckets in storage are a little bit bigger than that. It doesn't say cubic feet on there. I mean, it has the footage on there, which I could figure out cubic feet if I multiplied them, but it's really small. I don't have my glasses on. I threw 2 in each packet where the yarn is. So these are 20 gram, and it says 3 cubic feet for 50 grams. So each one has 40 grams in my bucket because I put 2 in there. So I don't think those are 3 cubic feet because they're not 3 by 3. They're like 1 by, I don't know, 1 by 2 feet maybe? 1 foot by 2 feet. So I guess that would be 3 cubic feet. Maybe. I don't know. My brain is not braining right now. So I threw 2 in each one. And I had a couple people ask me, like, what are the packets that you're talking about? These are what I'm talking about. And I know you've seen these. If you've ordered stuff online, like maybe shoes or clothing or something, these will sometimes be in there. The real small 5 gram or 1 gram will be in like beef jerky. Like if you get beef jerky, you have a little packet in there. Or like stuff like that. Or the medication will have the little 1 grams. So these were the 20 gram packets. And this is a bag of, I don't remember how many was in here. 20 maybe? It says 20-20. So I'm thinking it's 20 grams and 20 bags. And I have 4 left. So it makes sense that it was 20 pack of 20. These were like, I don't know, $15 or something like that. They do have, and that's what I was asked, is like what size. Well, this tells me, depending on the size of the container, depends on the size of the milligrams you need. They did have a bag of 100 of the 5 milligrams, but I was like, I'm just going to get the bigger milligram packets. And this says it also has 100 gram packets, and that will cover 6 cubic feet. So the really big tubs, I would probably get the 100 grams. tells you how to reactivate these. You can bake the packets to dry them out. You can microwave them on defrost. You can put them in the sun for 1 to 2 days. But if you put them in the sun for 1 to 2 days, doesn't that absorb the air from the, like, didn't it just say on the packet? I don't know. So now we know, keep that sealed up. And I have a couple more for if you have yarn storage that is specifically in a basement, or maybe a storage situation, garage, something like that, where you know that moisture could be a problem. I can't guarantee those are going to work. That's what I'm doing. Because that's what a lot of you suggested I do. And so I immediately, the first time I saw the comment, get the desiccant packs, I was like, that makes perfect sense. And then also somebody said get the buckets of the damp red, which my mom used to use all the time because we had a lot of moisture problems in the house we grew up in. So damp red was like an everyday thing in our house. Damp red is more for like keeping moisture out of like the storage unit in general, but it's so hot. I don't think there's actually, I didn't see any signs of moisture buildup, but it's not a terrible idea to put damp red in there. And then also several people said to keep the critters out, put a box of mothballs in there. And so that might be something else I do as well, just because I don't want anybody else's problems in my stuff. And while I'm not storing anything fabric, unless it's in a sealed plastic tote, because I don't, a lot of the stuff that's in storage is like holiday decorations for outside, fake Christmas trees. I have a handful of buckets of like yarn and makes, but what else is in storage is like I have a couple pieces of furniture that are in storage. A lot of the cardboard boxes I have left in the house. So I have 4 boxes in this room. I have a couple of boxes in my upstairs closet. And I did take a couple of boxes to storage this weekend though. And I have like 4 more boxes in a plastic bin that I can pack up this week and get over to storage. But I will not be lifting anything. I pack the box and I leave it where it is, and then I tell someone else to pick it up and move it because I'm not trying to hurt my back. And I know that I came on here to talk about bugs and an update on that, but like this is just an update video. I'm just letting you know what is going on in all aspects of Cinema Stitch's world. But I'll tell you right off the bat, like seeing these bugs on my desk make me super, super happy. And I sat yesterday and I was like, maybe I should film some amigurumi to put in the Etsy shop. And then I came in here and I looked at my amigurumi and I got really sad with the idea of putting it in the Etsy shop because they're really cute and they make me happy right now. And I have a really hard time of letting go of stuff. I really do. But, yeah. I did send out an invoice for the sleeping dragons. I have not heard back from her yet, so if she does not respond to that email, I will put those 2 in the shop because those were made with the intention to sell them. And I don't feel connected to those 2. Actually, I don't feel connected to 3 of my dragons that I have. This one I'm keeping because he's going with my holiday decoration because, oh my god, he's cute. And then I think a couple of you were like, you need to make a sleeping dragosaurus for every holiday. And I was like, absolutely. So now I need to find Christmas colored yarn. And I don't think I have any. I'll have to find some. I know that there has to be Bernat Christmas colored yarn somewhere. Because I don't think Premier has any. Because I'm looking and I'm like, that's Christmas colored. Yeah, they do have Christmas colored. It's striped though. I would rather be variegated for the Dragosaurus. Yeah, because my snake up there, which you guys can barely see, is red and green. We'll see. We'll see. Right now I'm making bugs. My next is going to be a glowworm. The glowworm is going to definitely be bigger than these bugs. I think when it's finished it's going to be about this big. I just hope that one turns out. Because it's hard. I have a hard time. Like if you're making a generic bug, okay, cool. I can make a generic bug, but when you're making something and you're trying to make it recognizable for something that has been, everybody knows what glowworms are. And if you were raised in the 80s at all, you know what a glowworm is. And I'm trying to make the one that, like the one I showed you. And if it is too far off from that, where it looks like it's generic, I'm not going to be happy with it. And that's why I have a really hard time doing the amigurumi kits that I have. I have 2 stitch kits for Lilo N Stitch. I have a Winnie the Pooh stitch kit or amigurumi kit. I have 2 Mickey Mouse kits. I have a Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood amigurumi kit. And I have not opened a single one of them because I'm afraid to try and it looks so far off. Because I've seen so many amigurumi on the internet where they tried to make it look like one of the characters and it's just bad. And I'm afraid that that's going to happen with me, is it's just going to look bad. And it will make me sad that I waited. My battery died, didn't even give me a warning that it was dying. Usually there's a thing up here that says, battery's dying. Nope. It is overheated though. My camera will overheat if I video for too long. One of these days I will invest in a different version of this camera. This camera is amazing. I loved it. I have loved it since I bought it. But there are a few downfalls with this one. It's the Sony ZV-1 or ZX-1 or something like that. One of the main downfalls with this camera from the time they manufactured it has always been a complaint that it overheats if you film for too long. And it does. It overheats if I film for longer than an hour, like straight. And then that's what makes the batteries die, is it's overheating. That's why the batteries die so quickly, is it heats up. And I want a camera that doesn't overheat. And I could, if I brought my laptop in here, I could record straight to my laptop. And then I don't have to transfer files. And then I don't have to have a battery because the laptop would keep the camera running. But I don't have room in here for my laptop anymore. I moved my laptop out of here when I put the school desk in the other room, because mostly, aside from uploading and editing, I don't touch my laptop unless it's for school. And yeah, I would rather not carry it back and forth. Hopefully the next house has a dedicated school space. And even if that's a corner in like the living room, that will be fine, because right now it's in where the breakfast nook should be and it's just really tight right there. And an office space for me. It's funny because one of the things little man was rambling about in the car last night that irritated my niece was he wants a studio in our new house. And I looked at him and said, "You're not getting a studio, you're getting a bedroom." He's all, "Well, I want a studio to record my music," because like all of a sudden he's a musician. He's using AI to write rap, which is funny because we don't listen to rap in the household a lot. If I listen to rap, I listen to like 90s rap. And he actually made a song the other day, and it was actually pretty decent for a 10-year-old making a rap song. He produced the music himself, but used AI for the lyrics, which is insane. And that's why he was irritated with me this morning, is because I interrupted his flow. He was recording himself rapping, which is crazy. I told him, I was like, "Boy, you're getting a bedroom. If you have room for your computer equipment in there, like, cool. You're not getting your own studio. We ain't got that kind of money." Like, I'm getting my own studio. But yeah, that's my one thing with whatever house we get, is I need a space that's just for Cinnamon Stitches studio land. And if that has to be a shed in the backyard, so be it. I will put an air conditioner in the shed. I will absolutely do that for myself. What I would really, really love, and this is, and we've talked about this is me fully dreaming, I would love a concrete building in the backyard. I would just love a concrete building, like a cute little, I don't know, 18 by 12, 18 by 15 size concrete little building. The AC in the window. Doesn't need much else in there. Just make a studio. I mean, it would be ideal if it had a bathroom, because my stomach has always been a problem. My bladder is becoming a problem the older I get, but like that would be ideal, wouldn't it? Like, can you imagine? We would just have our own place to hang out, and I would just make it so pretty, and I would put a comfortable chair in there, and all my yarn would be in there, and it would just be like a little she shed, if you will. For some reason I'm seeing like I would like concrete, which I don't know, because concrete's a moisture issue, so that might be actually a disaster, but I can dream, can't I? I think the dreaming is what's keeping me from full-on melting down with all the crap that's going on. I am feeling better today, though, and I hope that you see that I am absolutely feeling better today than I did in yesterday's video, or specifically the day before's video. I'm definitely feeling better. The bugs definitely are, they're making me happy. They're making me so happy to play with the bugs. And I was thinking about doing some tutorials for the bugs on the channel because they're really easy. And I know if you guys are making the Dragosaurus, I know for a fact you're going to be able to make these bugs with no problems. But I had a couple more people suggest in the video of different types of bugs I should try. And I didn't even think about a dragonfly. Like a dragonfly would be cute. She's technically a lightning bug because her butt glows, but her wings are given butterfly or moth. At the very least, she's given moth. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I do feel better now that we sat and chatted and talked. And the dogs are gonna go crazy. So I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.